Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Buddhish. This week we'll be discussing something that we feel a little weird about, but, it happens. We have finally dropped our combo of uploading every single Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Docs, how do you feel about that?
It's a shame, but it's not like we actually missed the whole week. We were just a day late.
That's true, yeah, that's true. We were just a day late, and so that explains why you might be seeing this episode on Saturday, because this is Buddhish Saturday edition. Just a little way to poke fun and make light of the fact that we missed our Friday for a Saturday instead.
Yep. And also, to be fair, we have a whole lot going on, and there were several things at once that aligned to make that happen. Having stuff going on in our personal lives, I don't know how much you want to talk about it. It's good things, but...
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I'm actually surprised that we didn't lose our combo way earlier, but everything was just conspiring for us to lose it this time, right? So many of the listeners know, of course, that I was going on the Shikoku pilgrimage. And whenever I was making plans for that, I was just like, sure. I was just positive that we would probably lose at least one Friday upload during that time period because I had been planning to stay for the full 60 days in Japan and I wouldn't have been able to do much. And we made some plans for me to upload stuff while I was there. But once I was on the ground, I realized that it might not have actually panned out super well. But then I ended up coming home early. But then when I came home, I was moving to a new place, I was starting a new job, I was getting ready to get married, and then once I got married, I had my honeymoon. So tons of stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
And once I got back from all of that, our backlog was just completely wiped.
Yeah.
And we've been on a week-to-week basis for a little while now. And so we typically like to work with like a 4 to 6 week lead time, a 4 to 6 week backlog of recordings. And that way, we can absorb it if something happens one week and one of us can't meet and can't record. But this time we've just been paycheck to paycheck, as they say.
Yeah, the pilgrimage and then, everything going on in your life ate up the backlog we had built up for the pilgrimage originally. And since getting back to the unexpected end of that, we've been kind of on the back foot. Now, we're getting back to a point where we have a backlog, and I do hope to pick that combo back up and make it go even longer this time. Like, we're not going anywhere. Dropping this isn't fundamentally going to change what we do, but how many years has it been? 4 years at this point that we've gotten something on time the whole time? There are so few podcasts that can say that, so I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, especially since we have so many actual explanations for why. We even had an episode ready to go. It was just that we both forgot to schedule it.
Exactly right.
It was why we were able to put something up the day after once we realized, we missed the upload.
Yeah. And, I'm very proud of that combo because we had Christmases, we had holidays, we had vacations and trips, we had, all kinds of stuff. We had emergencies and random stuff that's happened. We had other moves. I have moved, I think 3 or 4 total times since we have done this show. And so that's incredible that we're able to keep it for that long. And so I, again, like you say, I hope that we're able to combo even longer this time. But at the same time, all good things, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, it would be silly to be super broke up about this. Like I said, we've gotten enough done that we don't have anything to prove to anyone at this point.
Exactly. Yeah. And so sorry to anybody who was waiting for us on that Friday, but just know we are not going anywhere, and we're going to keep uploading on every Friday as much as we possibly can for as long as we possibly can, because we have so much more material coming out and so many more ideas. I'm planned out, I think, for as many as 160 standard regular episodes where we ask and discuss 3 questions. And then we have tons more ideas for sutra episodes, research episodes, Asian religion series, koan episodes, all of the great stuff that we put out. So there's plenty to come.
I mean, realistically, since we were only 1 day late, there is a non-trivial chance most of our listeners wouldn't have even noticed it if we didn't point it out. But it also seems like, since we've talked about it before, we should be honest about it.
Absolutely. We totally should. I agree. And I think that even if only one listener noticed, I think it was worth talking about it. And I think that also, I think that a lot of our listeners do listen on the same day, because I feel like I've seen lots of notifications on YouTube come through on the day that we upload, by the evening time. And I also have seen a pretty initial spike in views or listens on our hosting software. And so we get usually about a third of our listeners on within the same 24 hours after we've uploaded. And so that tells me that they're sort of waiting, or that they're ready. They have a routine where we're queued up on Friday afternoons or evenings. And frankly, I'm very thankful for that, and I'm grateful for that. I mean, I think that it's really cool that we get such a primetime slot in people's lives.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much else there is to say about it at this point. We have still done well, and we're still going to continue doing well, I think. So, yeah, it's nice to have that combo. I definitely enjoyed that pace, but also it's foolish to hook oneself to that combo so much that it interrupts things when it ends. So just, oops, we messed up. Oh well.
Sad trombone noise.
Yep. And yeah, we're doing a short Buddhish episode about it because we still need to kind of bring up that backlog again, so might be some ulterior motives to this shorter episode, not gonna lie.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, that's what we usually do on Christmas and the like anyway. Our Christmas episodes tend to be much shorter and lower effort, but I mean, we're not the only folks who do that kind of thing.
Yeah, and most of our listeners are doing stuff anyways, so, it works out.
Yep. Alright, well, that's us coming clean. We'll make the next one longer. Let's go for it.
Let's do it.
Alright, I think that concludes this episode of Buddhish. Thank you for listening, and hopefully we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Thanks for listening. If you like our show and you want to financially support it, we ask that you instead send that generosity to support a worthy cause. For now, we ask that you support victims of the floods that struck central Texas in early July. As of this recording, there are nearly 120 people confirmed dead, with over 170 people still missing. We've included a link to GoFundMe pages in our show notes. If you can, please join us in helping these people recover from this tragedy. Thank you.